Top 10 Human Rights Research Topics. Human rights in contemporary world. Here, we suggest studying the concept of human rights in modern society. You can overview the origins and evolution of human rights. Include the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and assess their significance in promoting equality and justice for all individuals. Besides, analyze the current human rights challenges, such as discrimination, inequality, and violations. Human rights in United Arab Emirates. This paper focuses on the state of human rights in the UAE. Therefore, you should investigate the human rights framework, including the legal system, policies, and international commitments. Research the progress made in promoting and protecting human rights, as well as the areas that require enhancement. We encourage you to carry out a critical analysis, considering both achievements and challenges. Canada's commitment to human rights principles. What is Canada's commitment to human rights principles? Explore the legal basis, including the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and examine the country's efforts in supporting multiculturalism and inclusivity. Spotlight Canada's role in international human rights initiatives and engagement with human rights organizations. Human rights role in international relations. You may dig into the role of human rights and how they become an integral part of world diplomacy. Assess their impact on security, development, and humanitarian efforts. Likewise, highlight the interconnectedness between rights and other global concerns. Perform a critical analysis of the successes and limitations in international affairs and investigate the potential for further integration. Human rights in sociology and philosophy. You can examine the philosophical foundations of human rights, including moral and ethical considerations. This topic discusses the sociological theories that underpin rights, such as social justice, equality, and the protection of individual freedoms. We encourage you to consider their societal implications and philosophical justifications. Same-sex marriages and human rights. This topic discusses the historical context of the LGBTQ+ rights movement. Thus, you can overview the fight for marriage equality and the legal recognition of same-sex marriages in different countries. Analyze the rights implications of denying or granting marriage rights to same-sex couples, highlighting discrimination, equality, and personal autonomy issues. Donald Trump's policies of poverty and human rights. What policies of former President Donald Trump impacted poverty and human rights? Try to analyze crucial policy decisions related to social welfare programs, immigration, and racial justice. After that, you can evaluate their implications for poverty reduction and human rights standards. Consider their effects on vulnerable populations and the U.S.'s overall state of human rights during the Trump administration. Human rights violation during Hong Kong protests. It discusses the background and causes of the protests, the demands of the demonstrators, and the response of the Hong Kong authorities. You can investigate the reported human rights abuses, such as excessive use of force, suppression of freedom of speech, and violations. We also offer to discuss the international response and potential solutions to these human rights issues. Human trafficking as violation of human rights. You should explore the nature and scope of human trafficking, including its various forms, such as sex trafficking and labor trafficking. How can the world resolve this issue? Research the impact of human trafficking on the victims' human rights, including their freedom, dignity, and right to live without exploitation. Affordable Care Act as a fundamental human right. This essay investigates the Affordable Care Act from the perspective of it being a fundamental human right. You may focus on the provisions for expanding access to healthcare, prohibiting discrimination based on pre-existing terms, and ensuring coverage for critical health advantages. Highlight the societal benefits, challenges, and improvements in the quest for accessible and comprehensible healthcare as a basic human right. Find more research topics on studycorgi.com.